This week on Hermitcraft.
Turned up.
Brendan, that was very loud.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs. Our writers, LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And the Beyblade fans in the audience may rejoice. The Permit Office has finally let it rip.
Look, people have had 7-8 months to build their shops. You know what we're doing, right?
We are reaping the permits.
After much scaremongering and big spreadsheets, Cubfan, Grian, and Scar have finally had enough. The time is up, and the unused permits will now be taken from the irresponsive or irresponsible hermits. Very eventually. The three of them do take a while to schedule a collab, so ask not for whom the bell tolls. It is a horn. In even more important news, the Hermitcraft server has now updated to the latest version of Minecraft, despite that meaning bits of the server break, crash, or generate scary graphs. It does mean they have access to the newest form of bundles, enderpearling into other dimensions, and chunk loading that doesn't require galaxy-level intelligence to understand.
I feel like I just entered like an alternative dimension.
And speaking of enlarged brains, ZF is at it again. A post on Zed's community page has revealed a video treasure hunt in which he has hidden lovable mascot Willy the Worm in every Hermitcraft video from Season 10. And he'll do it again! For every video this season, in fact. Eagle-eyed viewers are encouraged to join the community hunt because the early bird gets the bragging rights. In keeping with the spirit of ZF's challenge, we've gone ahead and added Willy the Worm into 8 to 12 clips of this week's recap, just to spice things up. They don't count, but when ZF has been worm posting on his community feed, we can't help but get involved. So, keeping our eyes peeled for hidden invertebrates, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with the reaping of the permits and Cubfan135, or even Cubfan616, as he puts on a skull mask and a cloak and a show.
The hat's gotta go. It's not
He's gotta go,
intimidating.
dude.
Fine. Okay, I'm ready to
No.
go, guys.
No, come on.
All
You
the
can't.
hats.
None of that.
Grian, Scar, and Cubfan meet up at the Permit Office wearing their best My Chemical Romance cosplay to start confiscating the unused permit papers. And they really are a band, having prepared custom ominous sounds for their outing that they have to play in sequence for the full effect. After all, it wouldn't be a black parade without the horn section.
Try it again.
Come on.
Okay. Sorry, I'll pretend up.
The bell's tolled, Joel.
It's
Do you want my
time.
permits?
We want your permits.
Please, God, take them. Come with me.
Well, that was easy.
Their first outing sees them visiting Joel Smallish Beans, who can't wait to get rid of his permits, Jevin, who refuses to get rid of his permits, and Gemini Tay, who actually fulfilled her permits and doesn't understand why the Cemetery Drive is here in the first place.
This is awful. What? Have any to give up?
Oh shoot! You know what? She's right.
She's done all her shops.
Yep.
Oh,
yep,
this is
a disaster.
What's
Yep.
the point in all this paperwork if we
Yep.
don't even look at it? You know what I
Shoot.
mean?
When Jevin chooses to do his talking with the laser beams, the Permit Office breaks out the hose and the special Phantom of the Opera horn.
You must, or else.
Unfortunately, even their joined DPS is still not enough to put him into that hearse you die to get in again. But they promise to come back for him, which, with how often the Permit Office actually does anything on the server, is famous last words, I know. Nah.
Think of the people, Jeff. Think of those people that are out there needing those resources.
Yeah, those bucket mobs, I'll tell you what, they're really selling.
Of dubious legality in this mess is False Symmetry's one-of-a-kind wildcard permit. As she still hasn't used it in 7 months, this could mean the weapon of shop obstruction actually changing hands. And it's not like we couldn't use a third fireworks shop on this server.
Because, Lady Symmetria, it is a relic of the season, okay? An important relic.
I'm also a relic of the season.
What, your head's a relic or the hat's a relic?
Honestly, I don't know what I mean by that. I just sound old at this point, though.
Despite that, in the last hours of October, False opens up a new business without much government supervision, one she's been sort of building up the entire season. This is River Racing, a single cave that converts the water loop around the neighborhood into a bumper carts track for anyone willing to rent a boat. Not that she hasn't done enough for the joined area, having assembled an entire to-do list of community land improvements and now fulfilled around half of it.
Over there!
there, over there, you know, this whole area in the center of everyone's bases.
Azumavoid does his community service as well. In the face of the reaping, X is quick to raise the Wall Street to the level where the officials can't quite shake a stick at it. Even if inside the actual street-sized building rests the exact same pop-up shop the Wolf community started with.
Yeah, what you did over here is great. You know, I loved your original tent design so much that I decided I gotta build a pop-up shop inside the shop while I wait for Mumbo to finish the redstone.
One new addition, beside the wall of walls lining the shopping district, is the Attribution Museum, where each of the Wall Street members is displayed in their full glory and with their dedicated colour in hand. It's a very convenient list of all the people who weren't there when he has been building all of this, with the welcome exception of Joe Hills, who was there the whole time but didn't help. As far as we know, anyway, Joe Hills himself is still chewing through footage from previous weeks, which includes the establishment of the Toughest Teeth shop for uncommon rocks, doing a deal with Doc M for dirt, sending Etho a ton of obsidian to help with the mail system portals, but the obsidian refusing to go through the letterbox, so he posts it manually.
Well, I'm not getting that stamp back.
And being disappointed enough with Joel's XP shop at spawn, both A, not completely refueling his equipment, and B, not being at spawn, that he sets up an XB shop at spawn just to take advantage of Joel's marketing efforts.
And so this then gives you an unlicensed shop for you to come after me if you want.
Amusingly enough, he's also there when another X is found on the map, leading to a buried diamond block that must have been put there for something. And if any detectives are able to crack this case, then you should absolutely be dedicating yourself to finding Willy the Worm instead. Impulse SV finds himself roped into the ZF shenanigans too, receiving an Is That Sheep invitation that tasks him with creating an elaborate sheep shearing contraption. Impulse welcomes this interruption from adding more details to the Metro Mayhem course and decides to repurpose the inside of a vacant building in the cyberpunk city to stage a wool farm driven by the restless undead.
I think the zombie's gonna turn right at the last second. Yep! Oh, so close.
Baited side to side by iron golems, the cybernetically enhanced zombies push the sheep to either end of the track where they're sheared via dispenser. And not content with merely farming white wool, Impulse soon has the whole rainbow of sheep contained in this contraption.
Do it. Perfectly good grass at your feet, just saying. Uh-huh, yeah, down there. Eat it. Please?
The zombies aren't the only thing getting a cyberpunk makeover though. After Ijevin leaves a giant jack-o'-lantern that doesn't gain any traction over Halloween, Impulse hooks it up with some techwear shades.
Now Halloween has passed and there's no other Halloween builds in the area. Sorry, Jeff, I guess it just didn't catch on. Also,
luckily, as the calendar ticks over the November line, so too does Ijevin enter his Christmas mode. Yes, he's one of those people, and he already has the sweater on. The glacial advance of the holidays brings in new and honestly really impressive Christmas decorations, combining Ijevin's newfound love for map art with his old-found love for invisible item frames. Thanks to the one command they're allowed to run on the server to render an item frame invisible, Jevin can build a pixel art decal over the void of the outer end dimension and then remove the background as if the art was drawn directly on the block. This allows him to create a few seasonal mainstays like those stick-on snowflakes or Christmas tree decals. But more impressively, two variants for the fairy-light texture that he can then string together like the real ones.
So I have effectively made Christmas lights in Minecraft. Isn't that the coolest thing ever?
First glances of snowfall also invade Jevin's custom azalea forest, as do the permit office vultures, but you know how that went for them.
get him, boys!
Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh my god.
Get him good, get him good,
The
get him
pain.
With the Wall Street builds now blocking off one side of his base, Corrales picks a different direction to expand in, the one with XB Crafted's home in it.
Talking about stuff popping up left and right. What this? I mean, I live in a jungle. And now I have this whole thing. So I guess this is the wool shop here, which...
Granted, only the interiors of the crafted manor are still safe from the spread of the Corallian reshaping, now that the backyard has been converted into a luxurious pool and the roof gets improved with a helipad. The vehicle is not far too. Corrales builds a small helicopter hovering nearby, transporting what seems to be an extra chunky specimen of the XB-favoured guardian fish. But if XB had any complaints, he had plenty of time to voice them when the two were hanging out by False Symmetry's Twisted Targets. If you want the full session of that, check out XB's video, even if it's just for Doc M going uber German.
That's tricky, it's behind the trunk.
Corrales definitely not cheating.
I know.
Just saying
I know.
how people were lazy and now we're tryhards.
Yeah, when it comes to the mini games.
Etho declaring the game unplayable.
Okay,
I gotta watch XP how he does it, because this is like unplayable.
And XP getting immaculate coverage of everyone else's attempts by free camming their free falls down the warped vine. XB also proves himself the most accomplished bowman of the bunch, so it's worth watching just to take notes on how he does it. Anyway, let's see Joel Smallish Beans' video. When last we saw Mr. Beans, multiple, he was propositioning Skizzleman for a trade offer on the music disc permit, which obviously Joel wants, given he's been serenading without a license this entire time and that jet set life is gonna kill him. Well, this time the tables have turned and Skizz actually approaches him offering the music disc permit in exchange for Joel just somehow making his trapezoid shop build into something people would enjoy looking at.
Right, Skizz, I think I can make this work and we'll polish this turd as you called it. I wouldn't say so.
Joel accomplishes this by completely removing basically the whole thing and building a very detailed gramophone instead, at the base of which any passerby can purchase the coveted vinyls. The stock already includes the regular Minecraft music, as well as custom production tunes Joel has already made for the show, as well as, and this is pretty interesting, a service where you can commission a custom song by Joel and his holograms on the topic of your choosing.
Then I've got a love song to another hermit from you, which is 80 diamonds. Quite expensive, I know, but that's because it's kind of weird.
Love song for Ren. He'll be happy.
There's also a song for the slime shop, of course, and to further promote it and score some green, Joel once again graffitis Impulse's wall. Doc M77 is one of the first in line to buy Joel's latest records, both because he wants an official licensed copy to play at the cabaret performance in his poker club, and maybe because he feels a little repentant for pranking Joel by carpeting his slime farm. The bootleg copy gets stuffed into Cub Fan's PA system just to switch things up a bit. Well, what goes around comes around, because several of Doc's favourite things have been broken by the update to 1.21.3, including the Breeze-powered player launcher, the precisely configured cobweb farm, and even the villagers in his iron farm. The former get fixed by conventional means, but after requesting admin intervention for his iron farm, Doc is given a handful of villager spawn eggs by Azuma. And with great power comes great responsibility, which is why Doc goes straight to Corrales' spider farm and turns one of the spawners into a villager factory. He goofs around long enough to fool Pearl, False, and Mumbo into thinking it was an accident of the update, but only Mumbo walks away before Doc admits it was his doing and swears the others to secrecy.
This is awesome. Secondly, though, I don't think this is related to me.
Wait, no, it's just... Oh, no, there he goes. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna leave you guys before I get accused of something else.
And finally there's Mumbo and Grian, since the two of them collaborate on one of those pesky permits that still needed taking care of.
This, if you remember a million years ago, is the warp block. Do you want to... We promised we'd do something with.
Yeah, we've been missing a trick here. We could have been rolling in diamonds. We could be accused of floating diamonds right now.
Mumbo is interrupted while working on interiors for his cliffside high street, and forgive me for editorializing, but using the end texture of bone blocks as a damp ceiling tile gave me violent flashbacks to working in an office job. Anyway, between Grian and Mumbo, the warp blocks permit needs a shop front, a shop middle, and dare I say it, a shop back.
Or do you need to go and quickly draw a picture of it?
Very funny. Yeah, I can get my isometric.
So together they build a nether tree right by Cub Fan's Nylium shop, which is great for shopping district synergy, but risks driving the pair of them round the bend.
Cub, you have the most annoying shop in the world.
It is. It's like
just
everything.
fireworks.
The fact that Mumbo is annoyed by Cub's shop making unnecessary noises is ironic. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.